Alright, this video, I'm going to talk about what I think is a master. Just to make it clear on what I consider a master in the martial arts. I'm going to go off of the definition, borrow the definition from Osho and his perception of a master in regards to the spiritual realm. But I feel that the master of the martial arts needs to be able to teach not just the physical fitness development and not just the combative development, but also the spiritual development. He needs to be able to teach an individual to become enlightened. He needs to be able to teach an individual to be extremely fit. He needs to be able to teach an individual to be proficient in combat in all areas. So there's a lot involved. Somebody like the Buddha, to me, in the spiritual realm, is considered a master. Same thing as Osho, considered a master. And in Osho's opinion, J. Krishnamurti was not a master, but he was arhata is what they call it. Somebody who knows the way, but he's not a master. He can't teach it. Jesus may be considered another master. Lao Tzu may be considered another master. These are in the spiritual realm. To me, the master does not come by often. It's very, very rare to encounter a master. I'd say maybe 1% chance. Even Osho was saying like 99% of the time you're gonna encounter false masters. To encounter an authentic master, I think you have like a 1% chance. So I think that's what a master to me symbolizes. My title, I go for under Sifu, which is the Chinese title for like teacher, father. It doesn't mean master. Okay, so I don't consider myself a master according to my definition of it. And to me, I think it takes time and patience. It's different. Even like Bruce Lee, I don't consider Bruce Lee a master. When he died, I don't consider him a master. I consider him somebody who knew the way, but he was on the way of becoming a master, but he just died suddenly, and then he no longer was able to achieve the master status because of his untimely death. I feel that he was on the way of becoming a master. And to be a master is different. Like, you gotta be at a very high level yourself, body, mind, spirit, and then you gotta be able to take somebody else to that level as well. And to me, like, being a master is similar, as far as time is concerned. It's almost like being like a grandfather. Like, you might be a father, but it doesn't mean that you're a grandfather. Like, in order to be a grandfather, you would have to have a child that ends up having a child himself, and that takes a lot of time. You got to be patient in order for that to happen, because anything can happen. You could have a child, and then all of a sudden, your child might die before you, or you just never have a child, or you have, or it takes a long time for your child to find somebody special, or to get married, to build a family, and then you might not be a grandfather until you're like 60, 70, or whatever the case may be, or you might be a grandfather at the age of 50, but you don't know, and it just takes time. So, like, even for me, I'm not even close to being a grandfather. I'm just a father. So that, to me, like, being a father is like being a Sifu. I'm just a father. I'm not a grandfather. In order to be a grandfather, it might take another 20 years. So in order for me to be a master, it might take me another 20 years of training, teaching, developing myself. And I might not get there, because to me, to be a master, it's a very you know, something that doesn't come by often, and you know, that's a status that very few people that will ever achieve. You know, another thing is I may not ever even have the drive to be a master because, you know, of the things involved with it. You know, because to be a spiritual master, really, I almost feel that you can't even be a master while running a business at the same time. I just really don't think that could happen, because it conflicts, you know, and you know, I know that I'm not there yet, but that's my definition of a master at this moment.